everybody. It's been a little bit since I did a video. It's fall time now. It's October 23rd. And those are the calendula still popping in the herb garden, looking beautiful. Still quite a bit going on actually. It did frost a few nights in a row, but then the temperatures shot back up into the 80s, so it's been kind of up and down. So life finds a way, as they say. But a couple of things that the frost makes me want to do is, first of all, harvest. Got to make sure the stuff we've been growing all year gets harvested and preserved somehow. So I have all those Scotch bonnets and jalapeno peppers and everything. I've already picked all of those so that they don't freeze and turn to mush. Still got some kale, and these are the beans we're letting dry for seed for next year. So they can actually hang out there until there's snow on the ground. But get any beans in there? Oh, there's one. Let's save those beans, and you can actually save them and cook them too. Still got all this awesome color back here too. Isn't that beautiful, you guys? Holy smokes. Even as they die back, they just give so much beauty and color. There's the local rascal. So today I'm gonna harvest the sunchokes, at least some of them. All these tall plants here, these are all sunchokes. So what I got to do is cut these down at the base and then dig underneath there, and there will be all these wonderful tubers for me to cut and dig up and preserve for the winter. Oops. Over here I've already brought in some straw mulch for these beds. There's garlic under there. I put in garlic last week, hundreds of garlics. So, and I just dumped this mulch right on top of it. See, we still got arugula and stuff growing underneath the mulch. There's brand new kale actually, and I still have the corn stalks here. I cut them off, but I didn't root them out, because one of the keys to healthy gardens is to not disturb the soil unless you have to. So those roots, how deep do I want to go into this? But those root balls, even though the plant's done, they support a community of organisms that help the soil stay alive. So I don't want to upset their home. So those will be falling down sometime next spring and not bother me at all. I'll plant around them, or maybe even train things up them. Not really a problem. Same with these flower stalks. Everything's fine just how they are. Just let them lay and keep adding mulch. Over here, this is what I did with my pepper plants. I cut them all the way back till they were just little stumps with just a few leaves. That's my most ambitious one there. And surrounded it with mulch. So hopefully those guys will be still alive for me next year, which would be really cool. So, but if not, then I can always start over. And here is the super bed for next year. This is, I guess you'd call it a compost pile, but I've been layering, I think you remember from earlier videos, layering grass clippings and my biochar and manure here, and so it keeps on sinking back down, and I keep building it back up. This is where I'm going to lay all of the stalks from the tops of the sunchokes. So that'll be like kind of the final layer here is some sunchoke stalks, so which will rot down and leave their their fiber behind for me to plant around. So yeah, so the plan next step here is to start clearing these stalks. And I thought I'd just kind of, never done a time lapse before, so I thought I'd try to do one of those. Maybe I'll play a little guitar over it. Gotta get a wheelbarrow for this operation, and a shovel, and some clippers, and gotta get a cup of coffee going too. Gotta rock the cruise.
Down the road, as far as I
Very
can see,
essential.
a man and my woman
And
up the blues.
we are going to be on our
Tell me
way,
how
so
long
enjoy
do I have to
the
wait?
next bit of the video.
But can I get you now? Must I hesitate? I ain't no doctor, I'm the doctor's son. I could do the doctor until the doctor's done. How long, oh, do I have to wait? And can I get you now? Or must I hesitate? Well, I ain't no preacher, I'm the preacher's son. I could preach the Bible till the preaching's done. Now me how long, oh, do I have to wait? Yeah, oh, I'll get you now. Or do I hesitate? I said, can I get you now? Oh, must I hesitate? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. Got the hesitation stockings and the hesitation shoes. Believe me, my lord, I got the hesitation blues. Tell me how long, oh, do I have to wait? Can I get you now? Oh, must I hesitate? Can I get you now? Or must I hesitate?
All right, so here's what I got so far. Not a bad haul. Even found a couple of potatoes down there. A nice little gift, but yeah, that's probably gonna be all I take out today, because that's a lot to process. So you can eat Sunchokes raw. They're good on salads, especially when they're picked after a frost like this. They get kind of sweet, creamy. Or you can add them to like mashed potatoes, or just cook them like potatoes. Get some good fat going and fry them up, or boil them, whatever you like to do. One thing though is there's a affectionate nickname for this tuber called Artichokes, and that's because they contain a protein called Inulin, which is the same protein that are in beans. It can cause some digestive upset for folks, so it's also really good for you. It's a good thing. It helps like your bacteria, your beneficial bacteria and your gut flora, etc. Anyway, eat Inulin, but eat a little bit at a time till your digestive tract can get used to it. There's the pile of stalks there. And I realized while I was doing this how ironic it is that I talked about the sanctity of undisturbed soil right before I wrecked the sanctity of this soil. Which, by the way, while I was picking it, clearing it out here, I noticed we've got a little bit of catnip coming up here, which is always a fun little wild mint to have. And I don't know if the time lapse caught me playing with it, but we got all this lovely milkweed going to seed. That little bug is called a milkweed beetle. How appropriate. And of course we got the comfrey here, which that's got a tap root about a half a mile deep and brings up all kinds of good nutrition in these leaves, so beautiful mulch there. But anyway, the exception to the rule of the disturbed soil thing is root vegetables. So you gotta dig for root vegetables. My strategy is to use the shovel as little as possible and to use my hands mostly. And then of course I saved some of this straw to mulch with it right away, so I'm not gonna leave that bare like that. This right here is in danger of turning from soil into dirt. And the difference is soil is alive and life needs moisture, and that surface is going to dry out and nothing's going to live in it, and it'll become its own like topsoil and it'll protect the layers under it. But I want as much soil as possible where I'm growing stuff to eat. So anyway, the next step will be to, this is another big crown here, there's probably another dozen or so sunchoke roots under there, and then I'll come over to this side and dig up all of this. So that wheelbarrow will be full by the time I'm done with it all. But I think that's enough garden video for today. Thanks for hanging out. That's always a pleasure. I hope somebody's inspired out there to grow their own stuff. Sunchokes are something you can grow in a pot, and you might want to because they're notoriously hard to get out of your garden once you put them in. If I even left like a little bit of a root in there, it's going to be back next year, and I'm sure I did. I hope I did. I want them back. I like this plant. Anyway, peace everybody.